Hello everyone, you're on the Moby channel and I'm glad to see you on my channel again. I think it's no secret for many that a new 13 episode of Skibidi Toilet Multiverse from Dom Studio has been released. And I'm sure that after watching it, you still have some questions, so if you want to know what's going on and what's the next plot in the Skibidi Toilet Multiverse, then be sure to watch this video to the end, like it, let's get 13,000 likes on this video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get 300,000 subscribers by the end of November on my channel. We're starting. Episode 13 begins with Agent Cameraman, Agent Drillman and Elite Agent Driller digging a secret path underground. By the way, we first saw the Elite Driller in Episode 9, and then he also played an important role in Episode 11, specifically he destroyed the Skibidi parasite. Agents move to the epicenter of the battle and then the Elite Driller part of his suit comes off and his drill broke a little. Then Agent Drillman puts on the part of the suit that fell from the Elite Driller again, also removes his drill and repairs it. Then the operator turns and we see Agent Cameraman pointing up. The camera is approaching and we see as the ground shakes a little and sand pours. Then Agent Drillman finishes repairing the Elite Agent of the Driller and he paves their way into the open battlefield. Agents get out of the tunnel and we see a real epic war of Skibidi Toilet against agents. Here we also see one of the titans of the Skibidi Toilet Multiverse. This is the Titan Drillman and for the first time we saw him in Episode 9. Also, if you look closely at this frame, you will notice that cameraman agents have also started using knives as weapons. This is clearly visible in this fragment. Next, our main characters of this episode run right through the middle of the terrain where epic battles take place and at the moment you can see how a flying Skibidi Rocketeer attacks the Titan Drillman. But thanks to the long and sharp arm of the Titan, he manages to prevent the attack and attack first. And if you look closely, you can see an interesting frame. Titan Drillman destroys the Rocket Man's Skibidi just like Titan Cameraman destroyed the parasite Skibidi in episode 57 of the original Skibidi Toilet series from DaFuq. Next, we can see how the big agent Speakerman bravely fights with opponents and by the way, this character has appeared more than once in this multiverse and it seems to me that the author of Dom Studio is preparing some kind of separate story arc for him. Next, our POV operator is suddenly attacked by a Skibidi hybrid with a bat in his hands. The hybrid knocks down the operator, strikes him several times and tries to finish this episode, but no, because he is saved by the cameraman agent, who threw a spear at this Skibidi hybrid, but unfortunately our savior did not last long, because a second later explosives were thrown at him. Write F in the comments in honor of this savior operator. Next, our operator picks up the bat and here in this frame we can notice an interesting detail on the container, specifically the container with an arrow. Remember where else we saw this container with the same graffiti, correctly in episode 65 of the original series Skibidi Toilet. Then we see how the cameraman's agent is attacked by Skibidi Toilet, which uses a very strong acid weapon. This can be understood by its tank of acid and the green liquid that it releases into the agent. We remember the same weapon from part 1 of episode 67 of the original Skibidi Toilet. By the way, when do you think part 3 of episode 67 will be released? Write your theories in the comments, and I will definitely read them. I think that soon we can get the first real leaks of part 3 of episode 67, because there have already been leaks today, but they were more of a comic nature, but they definitely have some meaning hidden in them. And while you are writing your theories, I will continue to analyze episode 13. Because there are still so many secrets in it that you may have missed. Next, our POV operator attacks a toxic opponent with a bat and washes him off. Further on in this frame, you can see a Skibidi Toilet with 2 large miniguns and just the same he noticed the operator and started attacking him, but the operator manages to dodge bullets and hide for cover, but unfortunately other agents do not have time to hide. Next, the operator raises his head from hiding and then we see how the karate agent deals with the enemy using his martial arts, and the Titan Drillman destroys a dangerous opponent at this time. Next, the Titan is attacked again by the Skibidi Rocketeer, but the operator turns in the other direction and we see the building on which Skibidi Laboratory Base 4 is written. And also in this frame we see Agent Drillman, who was at the beginning of the episode and Agent Cameraman, who was also at the beginning of the episode. The POV operator did not think long and also ran there. Also while he was running, he turned to look at the Titan Drillman and he successfully copes with his opponent. But also on this building you can notice a strange interesting graffiti. I wonder what it means? Write your theories in the comments. Further, when the operator began to run across the road, he was hit by a car in which Skibidi Cyberpunk was sitting. He reminded me of the Skibidi Saw from episode 48 of the original Skibidi Toilet. Skibidi, the enemy began to roll our operator on the hood of the car, and we see how the Titan drill man fights with the flying Skibidi toilet and epically destroys the building. Next, the operator notices that he is approaching the explosive barrels. Then the operator turns and we see that there is no one behind the wheel of the car. Then the operator pushes off from the car, manages to save himself. Then the car explodes and we see how the operator jumps and protects himself from the explosion. Then the operator turns around and we see Agent Cameraman fighting with the toilet, and the Titan drill man continues to fight and destroy the big Skibidi toilet. Next, the operator hides behind a wall and a Skibidi helicopter falls right in front of him. Then the operator continues to run to the very building to which he ran initially, but the enemy is approaching him. The operator continues to run and the enemy is knocked down by a small loader. The operator continues to run, but a large Skibidi saw comes across him. The enemy notices the operator, and when the enemy has almost come close to the operator, the plunger attacks the Skibidi saw cameraman. But for some reason his plunger is white. Then we will understand why some of his plungers are white. Plunger cameraman attacks the enemy as well as attacks the enemy in the original 66 episode of Skibidi Toilet, but then the enemy does not explode, and his head freezes. I will assume that the white plunger just freezes the enemy, and does not blow it up. And then the plunger cameraman finished off the Skibidi saw. Then the operator continues to run to the laboratory and Agent Speakerman runs in front of him. Then the operator also runs into the laboratory and a big Agent Speakerman closes the door behind him. Then the operator turns around and we see what is in this Skibidi lab. We can notice a board on which 30 crossed out sticks are depicted. Apparently these are attempts at some specific experiment. Then we hear the door open. The operator turns around and we see a big Agent Speakerman trying to stop the attack of the electric Skibidi toilet, but unfortunately the enemy wins this battle and the agent falls to the floor. Then the enemy goes straight to the operator. But at this moment the sharp rod of the elite Agent Clockman flies into the enemy's head, and just through another door my colleagues come in. This is the elite Clockman and Isotoilet. The elite agent shows the OK sign, and the operator shows the like. Then the camera turns to inspect the laboratory again. But then suddenly the operator notices that Agent Speakerman read the secret documents that say Skibidi Apocalypse. The agent of the Speakerman reads these messages and shivers. Then he closes them and looks towards my colleagues. Then the elite Clockman with his hidden mechanical hand tears off the head of the Speakerman. The camera turns and on the screen of the Isotoilet you can see the message "No spoilers." Then the elite Clockman also plunges his sharp hand into the operator. The operator falls, but his camera continues to work. And then from behind the elite Clockman I appear Moby. I am a flying cursor. I take these secret materials and Isotoilet destroys them with its fiery radiation. As you can see, I don't feel fire, so I can't be burned. Next, Isotoilet approaches the operator and you can see a hidden message on his screen, and specifically "sorry" is written on it. He turns off the camera and this ends episode 13, and I think you are insanely interested to know why we did this. And before answering your question whether we are villains or not, I would like to remind you that the last 12 episode ended in a completely different location. It ended at the moment when the Titan TV man appeared, but he was not shown to us. But he left a message that translates as "they will pay for this," thanks to my subscriber, who pointed this out to me in the comments. Well, now we move on to the most interesting. Perhaps you think that we are all traitors or villains? In fact, this is not the case. These materials that Agent Speakerman saw were top secret, they could not be seen. But don't worry, these agents that we have damaged will be cured. It's good that there are excellent agents in this universe, engineers who can fix them. The fact is that we know a little more than everyone else. For example, we know that agents